Hello there people, yeah, Steve here. Oh man, I've just been interrupted all day on this video. I went down out in the morning to the forest, forgot my SD card, came back, went out and the camera battery ran out. Now just come out, started filming and getting interrupted all the time. You'd have thought there's people hiding behind these trees, jumping out and going, oh that's my space. You know, I'm really getting angry at people who really misunderstand the concept of ownership. You know, you owe something to me, you owe something to you, you owe something to the planet, you know. Anyway, I'll leave that. It feels like I'm coming to the beginning of a new phase, you know. There's things I've got to change, there's things I want to change, you know, but I wanted to kind of bring it up to date, and I wanted to do an hours long video today just to kind of relax and talk to you a bit slowly, but no, the fucking snobby world closes in and thinks it owns everything, including style. No, it fucking doesn't. Now, I'm just waiting for somebody to come up and say, oh no, I own this grass, I can't film here. You know, I mean, it's terrible everywhere, isn't it? Anyway, like I say, you know, put that aside. Where are we? All these years, you know, we, you know, I'm sure you're watching my channel because you like me. You know, we've been like, we've seen something to the system. You know, we can't be loyal to such a system. You know, maybe some of us did show a great deal of loyalty, but somewhere along the lines, we've always known that something's fucked up with the system. Something's wrong. After people are like, you don't know them anymore. They become kind of characters in a film. Got to keep one eye over your shoulder these days. You know, I hate this system. You know, I got to admit, I really fucking hate every little facet about this system. The bank machines that you get the money out of, vending machines, talking to computers when you phone someone up, having to press 1, 2, 3, 4. I fucking hate that, and I'd rather lose everything than have to deal with that world. I don't know about you. You know, I can be happy on my own. I can be happy with my friends. We can have a party without all of that fucking robot system. I'm sick of this shit. And then all the loyalists that pressure me into following that shit. No, you know, I've got so much wrath in me, it's unbelievable. This is just, you know, tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. I'm trying to keep myself fucking light-hearted, you know what I mean? Because if I don't, I'll fucking smash some bastard's head in. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep my voice down because it's, you know, it's a peaceful area. But peaceful is not peace when people come out of fucking nowhere and tell you, oh, you know, I own this, I own that, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you all know what I mean. You all know what I mean. And then when we start watching independent media, when we start listening to those quiet ones who've been working and geeking around and researching and that and looking for information, we find out that there's more to the law. We find out that people don't actually own things. People possess things. The things possess the people. The onus is an ownership. You know, it all is different. So we're all obeying the wrong, false laws. Basically serving Satan, if you know, if you want to use that metaphor, that character of the Bible. You know, and we watch all this alternative media and realise that, you know, most of these snob loyalists are just full of shit. You know, and we're all snob loyalists at heart, but some of us are not so fucking obsessed by it. You know, obsessed by loyalty to the government, like as if it's all going to change. You know, blind obedience, you know, as if it'll be rewarded. So I watched these videos like everybody else. I got fucking angry. I saw all that sinister. I saw all that evil. I got angry, and I saw a lot of it was real. I looked across, you know, I even did like projects. I helped out on like an Israel-Palestine documentary. Ended up becoming targeted myself, you know. Tried other like charity things and stuff, helping out here and there, talking to people, finding big names, making connections, trying to do all of that, when I just realised that nobody seems to really know what's going on. And is anybody having a look? So I'm looking at every single person who's saying something on the alternative media, and I'm trying to work out if what they're saying is valid. So I'm picking out a massive fucking pile of dictionaries, Latin, German, English, French, you know, Hebrew and that online. I'm doing all my studies, cross-referencing, finding any legislation that I can find with an answer to this problem that we're all looking to. But then I decide I'm going to have to like focus on it even more and forget about the mainstream news and just read documentaries, read dictionaries, read cross-reference, look at etymology. I'm more interested in the history of language and the words than the history that's presented us to by the victors, by the winners, by the, you know, the fake history that we get, regardless of whether it's useful or not. You know, so here we are, looking for a remedy, looking for a legal remedy that we no longer believe in because we have no more faith in the law, we have no more faith in the government, and now we're losing faith in mankind because there's so many snob loyalists walking around thinking that they can still grab onto that system and it'll still work. You know, if that train does manage to like get itself going and back up and running, then the people in the first class seats should be bloody thankful that people like me, who was in the fucking engine room, got that thing running. That's how it always was. And the intelligent and the wise know that this world was built on intelligence, on handwork, on good heart, and courage, and, you know, it wasn't built off fucking stupidity and evil. Yeah, there's a lot been done out of evil, and it's up to us to stop that evil. But where's our power? You know, we ain't even got power to pay our own fucking electric bills and shit. We ain't got the power to get our own friends out of prison, maybe, or help somebody else. We ain't even got any power to you know, nobody's got any power to give, say, me any money when I haven't got any money. So are they really powerful? Snob loyalist? How much worth is your life if you can't even help a friend with your own values and virtues? That's the way I see it. So I abandon snob loyalty. Snob loyalists, a lot of you know what I mean. And there's a lot of people who don't watch these videos because they're loyalists and they're snobby. And the things that I say will just burn their fucking minds. They don't even like the swearing. When in fact, actually, internationally, swearing is not really that big a deal because, you know, it's only English that get, and the Americans that get really worried about it. You know, them countries and that. Country. You know, okay, so I'm getting fed up of this, like us all. You know, we're all trying to get strength in numbers, trying to wake people up. You know, look, this is that danger, that's that danger, but still, the snob loyalists are still asleep, gripping onto their little day jobs, gripping onto their little comforts. You know, playing their little games, watching TV. I mean, we all do. We all need comforts. But let's not fucking sacrifice our entire life for somebody else's video game. You know, let's at least put in something into life of our own. And it has to be for everybody else. Otherwise, it's not putting it in, is it? It's just taking it out again. You know, so I'm getting sick of snob loyalists. I'm trying to find like-minded people like you, and we get together, we find each other. But still, all the same, year after year, all we can do is say, they're doing this, they're doing that. The Russians are doing this to the English, and the English are doing that to the French, and the French are doing that to Israel, and Israel's getting back to Syria. And you know, it's all just like a tattletale, telling stories about each other. It's the past. It's like a false history. I'd rather sit down and read a dictionary and find out, hang on a sec, that news report was written in double speak, double Dutch, whatever magic language. And I can't know whether that's legally binding in both languages, or we're the ones who are just reading it wrong, or it's a trick. Anyway, I'm seeing the whole alternative media as being kind of a little bit of a dead end. As much as we need to bring transparency to the public, I'm not getting fulfilled. All I'm doing is just going, they're doing this, they're doing that, we're going to die, be scared, we're going to die. You know, I'm getting tired of that, so I'm reducing myself more and more to my own laws. And I'm on a one-man war with the government. I am waging war with the government on my own. And I want that, what I find, to be for everybody. So you can find it, and you can find it, and you can all be a one-man war with the government. You know, that's the point where you kind of realise that you know, that's the point where you realise something's wrong. When all your hate and all your loathing goes all in to bringing the government down. But all along you haven't used your mind, you've used your gut feeling. And you shouldn't have, because the evidence that they're giving you needs really looking at twice. It's like a birthday present wrapped in satanic paper. The contents are wonderful, the outside wrapper can get you thinking, you know, you want to set fire to that box. But no, there's something really precious in there. you know. So, I just entered this one-man war with the government. I was waging war with the government, looking at legislation, looking at words, looking at anything away. And I'd live and die. I'd die for this, because I'm sick of all this. I'm not going to die for someone else's legal procedures or, standpoints and stuff. I'm not going to try and get strength in numbers when I'm going to be there on my own in a courtroom, or there on my own in a prison, or there on my own getting whatever trouble. So why is strength in numbers then? I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's the same for everybody. I'm not just saying I, you're I. So why is it such a big sin for me to think for myself when we're all selves? There is no we. There is no bridge wide enough to get two people side by side. But we can show each other the bridge, and each one can have the trust to walk across, rather than trying to jump into the abyss. But you've got to say I. You've got to say I and not we and you and them. I want to hear out your experiences. I'm not going to judge you about whether you're right or wrong. Because that's you. You can be wrong. I'll try and help you then. Or maybe I'm wrong. But the fact is I know your truth. And the words, if you turn them into actions and that hurts somebody, then I've got a reason to defend that person, haven't I? Or to tell you not to do it in the first place. But if we're just talking about words and ideas and concepts, we really need to get into it. And with our minds and with our hearts instead. If we're going to get angry, then turn all of that off and just turn it round. And that's what I try to do. Because one thing I realised is all of that hate, it's like war. And it's like a relationship then. It's a warship. It's worship. Whether you love something or you hate something, that is worship. Thou shalt not worship any other gods but me. Thou shalt not worship graven images. Thou shalt not, this worship isn't just about, it's about hating something with all your might. Hating the system, hating law, hating legislation, hating the Bible, hating God, being terrified of God, being terrified of law, being scared of the authority. That's what it's there for. And if you can turn it around with love, then you might be getting somewhere. But the fact is, to even give it any energy in the first place, to give that legal piece of document any extra energy other than a bunch of words, to get angry at it or to love it or hate it, is going against that principle. It's like the feeling of dying when you just get a letter through your letterbox and it's like giving you some kind of bad news. But at first we should read the words with our minds and stay ever so calm. Keep calm and read the words. Because I can say there is a solution, a remedy provided in the language and in the system. I don't know who knows, I don't know how to explain it, I've just got faith and it's becoming more and more substantial. And the more of us that start to understand it and break away from our fears and false worships of love and hate towards the Bible. How many people don't stop watching my channel because I'm talking too much about the Bible? Well, fuck off then, if you think I'm too godly for you. Then fuck yourself. That's how godly I am. I'm here with conviction. I don't care, because if you don't accept me, then you're the one who's seeing me as being evil. Honi soki mali pons. He who thinks evil of it is evil. Now apply that twice, once to you and once to you thinking about how you're, it's not right that you think someone else would think evil about you even, because that's thinking evil about them. Anyway, I've explained a lot of that in my old videos. I'll try not to repeat myself because I've got so much more to move on to. I've been talking a lot about the literary side of life. And if you're interested, just go back on my videos. If you've got any questions, most of the stuff on there is valid. To my knowledge, I've only said one stupid thing, and that was that, oil is fossil fuel, dinosaur bones. And I'll take that back, it isn't, But everything I say on there, I try not to say anything that I can't kind of back up, at least in the dictionaries. Now, if you want to argue with my information, a lot of it's in the dictionaries. And then you'll think, well, hang on, he's got a point. He's seeing another narrative. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to get you to see. And I don't know if it's right. It doesn't change anything. I still need to fight. It's just that I feel more empowered. I feel more like I've got more trust in the world full of the people that are here. I'm not saying trust in the legal system or trust in a Bible or any kind of thing. You know, I just have trust in the world at large and the language and the people and the nature of the game. Now I think the nature of the game is what I just didn't understand. But the main thing is, like I said, worship. You know, be careful, because when you hate something, you enter into worship. And maybe now you won't understand what those words mean, but just think about it. Just think about whether you can actually look at something objectively, rather than instantly using your anger with it. Now it's okay if we use our anger on the outside, in human expression, and shout as I do on video and stuff, but inside, don't let yourself get as angry as you are on the outside. Or I think you know what I'm saying. Don't work yourself into a frenzy. You stay with your mind. It might seem chaos, but there's a hell of a lot more hidden truth and hidden power of good and evil. But it's up to us to find the good power and to get it in our hands and prove that we're the good ones. And then do something with it. Not expect others to change the world. Because it's when we do things for others that our authority comes into our hands. It's when we try and do something for ourselves that the power diminishes. Help 10 people and you've got far more power. And if them 10 people then help 10 each. But helping yourself is a real disaster in this world. Unless you need the help, and then it's your duty. It's your duty to stand up and look after yourself first so that you can look after others. There's no point in saving others, if you can't, because you're not there to save them. So think about it anyway. Just be nice to yourself, be nice to others, use your mind, and have a little bit of patience, and there's a lot more that will reveal itself to you. And I'm sure that'll be a much more solid source of power, and I'm sure also the people around you will accept that positive kind of fight, that positive love. That hard kind of love that a father has to, love his child by actually maybe sending him out into the world. That kind of love. As soon as we start to adopt a good way of using that kind of love, then we can draw in those people who are like snob loyalists in my eyes. I don't want to label, but they're like, there's a lot of people who think that status is all that matters in life to get on, and there's a lot of people who think that comfort is the only thing that counts, And it's an easy mistake to make. We're led by temptation. We're born into trickery. We're born into a crazy system. So I'll leave it there anyway. But like I say, Honisaki Mali Pons, he who sees evil is evil, That's just for you to think about. That's not something for you to enforce. Yeah. But there's a lot more good than I ever thought there was. Hold on to that, folks. See you in the next video. It's getting dark. Cheerio.